Here we go, here we go, here we go. Let's go. Let's go, guys. Oh my gosh. So happy to see each of you. Okay, our backsitters, can we come up, please? Can we come up, please? I know, honey. I will. Yes, come on, come on. A little bit up, a little bit up. Look at this whole row right here is empty. Come on, guys. Let's lead well today. Yeah. Oh my goodness. You guys just add to my energy. And of course, my daughter Kendall and her girlfriend Taylor, my best friend's daughter, they just brought it this morning, right? So give them a hand for the energy. Now,
well done.
Yeah, they're old, so they have to sit. But good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see some of my old-time last year kids are here today. Oh my goodness. Yes, yes, absolutely. You guys are here for a reason. You know, and this year, last year, some of you would remember last year was, am I a leader, right? Question mark, exclamation mark. So we grow on that, we expound on that. And this year is, be the change, lead well. Right, be the change, lead well. And guys, I'm gonna be short because there's some amazing people I wanna introduce to you, but I want you to know that you can do hard things. They sound a little crazy, right? But you can do hard things. Back in 2021, where's Addison and Anaya? Don't hide. There they are. Girls, stand up for me, just for a second. I promise. I'm not going to embarrass you. So the reason why I had these two girls stand up, because they are now in 12th grade. Back in 2021, they were one of the original 15 kids that attended this conference. 15. But again, hard things, right? So we said, okay, what can we do better? How can we grow this to the community? Hard things. How can we raise the money? How can we make sure that we get you guys here? So here comes Dr. Gibson, Shenandoah University, right? Come on, sis. Here comes Chelsea Hester. Come on, sis. And my amazing Cynthia Schneider. She doesn't run from me anymore, Sina May. And my husband somewhere. Who knows? Oh, there he is. Christy Seibert, she had her head like that, so she knows she was coming. And our children, who they will say that they are the original reaching out now. My son Samuel Barber, who is a third-year senior at Shenandoah University, former Skyline High School baseball player, graduated 2023. And you all met my daughter, Kendall. But the team began to grow, right? Jessica. Girl, come. Kim, Karen, Xenia. And unfortunately, our director isn't here, Susie Chamberlain. One of our girls wasn't feeling well, so she took her to urgent care. And our volunteers, right? We have Michelle Day here. Tabitha's here. Michelle, stand up. Tabitha. Krista and her kids from the PAL program, Warren County. Dr. Polite is also here. And he doesn't like when I do this, but the pastor of Reaching Out Now, Steve Seibert. Stand up, sir. AKA Coach Seibert, Skyline High School. But do you see, guys? We did something hard, but as you see, I didn't do it alone. So make sure that when you're doing something hard, you surround yourself with the right people, because everybody's not going to believe in your vision. Because when we started this with just 15 kids, and I sat in her office, and I said, hey, this is the vision. I'm not going to cry. This is the vision, yeah, right? Yeah. Yet, I know.
Before the day's over.
Oh, gosh, I know. That I saw you, and I saw you, and I saw you. You're gorgeous, honey. You're gorgeous, too. You handsome, boy. But we saw you guys, right? We saw possibilities, we saw open doors, and so we began begging money, and we began meeting with your superintendents and your counselors, and then we began connecting speakers who are in this community who loves you, right? Who wants to speak into your life, who wants to make a difference in your life, who are the change, and they're leading well. And so that's why they're here today. That's why we're here today. And trust me, babies, this road has not been easy. There's been tears. There's been pressing. There's been naysayers, because you know we have haters too, right? I keep it real with y'all. So you're here today not just, yes, to have fun, because we gotta have fun. We gotta have fun. There's so much going on in this world today that are pressing on you guys. Right? The second year when we had this conference, I lost someone who was your age, 16 years old.
Here comes the tears. I got you.
She was only 16 years old, and she took her life. And that October was the hardest conference that we had, but we did it because we saw you, and we saw you, and we saw you. So we knew we had to press it. We knew we had to do it. We knew we had to continue on. And so here you are today in this space together, having fun. And guys, as you all asked last year, Chick-fil-A's back this year. Chick-fil-A is back this year. But we have an amazing day packed for you. You're going to meet some of our speakers. As I said, I wanted to introduce you to these amazing partners who made today happen and who's going to make today happen. This morning, we're going to introduce our speakers, but this morning, you're going to talk to some amazing speakers. Some of you have spoken to them before. Lunch, music with Kendall. Help us, Lord. And then you're going to partake in an amazing service project. You all are going to write cancer cards to the cancer patients at Valley Health. And we're going to pack 19,000 meals. Mm-hmm. 19,000 meals for families. So I'm going to introduce one of my amazing friends, partner, Shenandoah University, Dr. Gibson.
Thank you, Sam. Can we give everybody a round of applause for Sam and her vision? I think that's so important. And I'm not a crier, but you almost took me there because 25 years ago, I graduated from high school. And I just came back for my 25th class reunion. I know, I look young, y'all. Now, 25 years ago, and I walked the halls on Sunday, and I had tears because I'm a first-generation college student. My mother was a single mom of 3, and I had a guidance counselor who told me, you were not college material. You would never make it. You know what? Don't even think about community college because you're not even going to be accepted there. And as I walked through those halls, and when I was in 9th grade, 10th grade, the classes that they would prepare me for, those classes were things that I didn't want to do. They put me in sewing and childbearing classes, and I had to carry like the crying like baby around all the time because they're like, you're just going to be a mom and have a bunch of kids. You're not going to make it anywhere. And everybody else was taking typing and computer science, which was these old big computers. I have all my yearbooks, and I have an 11 and 13-year-old, and so they were looking at my yearbooks like, Mommy, those computers were huge. I was like, yeah, we didn't have these cute little laptops that you had. So I hope that today you didn't take advantage of, I get to skip school today, or I don't have to go to my classes. Please take advantage of what you have to offer today. The vision that Sam had, if it wasn't for an organization called Project Discovery, which was an organization that was a college prep for high school juniors and seniors who helped us prepare for college. They helped us with resumes, scholarships. They took us on college tours. So when my high school counselor didn't believe in me, I had a community organization like Yes, who said yes to you, yes to me, and we're gonna make this happen. And they did. So that vision that you have for this region, we started in Warren County. I said, wait a minute. We have Winchester City, we have Frederick County, we have Clark County. There's so many people in this region that can benefit from saying yes to leadership. So I encourage you today to take advantage of, when I walked through those halls, again, I was emotional, and my husband had to get me together because I don't cry much, but I did. Because I was like, man, I walked through these halls thinking, this is it for me. I wasn't a student athlete. My grades were like a 2.6-ish. But I did. I went to undergrad at Marymount University. I obtained my master's degree from George Mason University, my doctorate from George Mason University, and I said, if I ever have a chance to come back and speak to my high school, I will. And when I was talking to some of my classmates, they never left, and they said, what are you doing now? How did you take the courage to leave? What did you even do to leave? Because we thought you were not gonna make it. Because my 2 sisters didn't go to college, and they had a different pathway. So it was just automatically assumed that I was gonna follow in line. So if you are a first generation, and maybe you're not, maybe you're the 2nd generation, 3rd generation, but run your race at your pace. Your race at your pace is my encouragement to you. If I had to also tell myself 25 years ago, or if I was sitting in your seat, how many seniors do we have in the room? Visit colleges as often as you can. So the folks that I was around, they didn't go to college. Unless they were a football player, they were going to Tech, UVA, and maybe JMU, right? I didn't play sports. I knew I wasn't going to get a scholarship. I knew I wasn't going to go to a D1 school, and I was like, that's it. If your parents don't have money, guess what? You're not going to college. Visit as many colleges as you can, and make sure it fits for you, right? Because I want to make sure that it's a fit for you. The second recommendation, again, my 25-year-old self, is if you're not dreaming big enough, step out and continue to think about what's beyond. Because I thought I worked at a Burger King and I worked at a shoe store, and I thought that was it. I had my plan. I'm gonna get a trailer and a double wide, and I'm gonna have my little Burger King job and get my car. That was my goal. And I said, that's not it. God has something more in store for me. And I'm so glad that I didn't listen to my guidance counselors. I'm so glad I had organizations like Yes to encourage me. So I wanted to leave you with, step out, make sure you have some big dreams, and believe in yourself. Make connections, whether it's today, everyone that she introduced you to, you may need them as a mentor. You may need them as a letter of recommendation. But also make connection across schools, Skyline, Winchester, Frederick, wherever you are, make those connections, because you never know in who your high school that you may need to call upon for a job. You may be sitting across from them in an interview. You may just need to say, hey, I need help with something. So I say thank you for being here today. Take advantage of all that you're gonna experience this afternoon as well as this morning. Get cards, business cards from the speakers that are here, and follow up and say thank you, because they're also taking time out of their day to be here with you. So have a great day, keep your energy up, and thank you for saying yes. and your vision. Thank you.
All right, we're not done. We have more for you. The amazing Chelsea Hester.
Good morning. Good morning. How happy are you all to be here and not in school? Say yes, say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Today, you all are about to experience the arena of what we have put together for you. You know what that means? I'm going to tell you. I need you to bring a brick today, and I need you to bring a brick to help us build this arena. Have you ever been to a sporting event or a concert that just gave you goosebumps? Or an event? Yeah. Yes? That event was filled with what? Enthusiasm, right? And passion. I started taking my son when he was 10 to college campuses. A year ago, we went out to Purdue, 4 arenas in 5 nights. Purdue University, to see Caitlin Clark play. We went to the business school first. When we got to the business school at Purdue, we walked in. I'm not supposed to be there. They're in classes. When we walk in, we say hello. I want my son to have an experience in a business school. We walk into the elevator. The elevator door is shut. In front of my 10-year-old is Disney, McLaren, Tesla, and Meta. Places where these students have gotten jobs. Pictures that come to life in smiles and opportunity. In careers that he, my 10-year-old, can see himself doing and being. And he didn't want to go to Purdue. He wanted to go to an SEC school. But in that brief moment, he was a Boilermaker. We went to the game. We saw Caitlin Clark play, and I was fortunate enough to sit next to one of her mental coaches. We're going to talk about that this afternoon. That game, we were in an away atmosphere. Let me tell you something. 9 people out of 10 had a Caitlin Clark jersey on. Even the Purdue fans. That arena was so packed, there was standing room for a women's basketball game. Think about that. We see it now all the time, but we didn't 2 years ago. The next night, we went to Chicago to see Steph Curry play. Let me tell you something. That was an electric environment. The Chicago Bulls were terrible that year. However, you know who was in the house? Michael Jordan's 90s championship team was honored at halftime. The Bulls were terrible that year, but it was a packed house because everybody wanted to see, and I'll bet you a third of them weren't even born when the 90s teams won, but they wanted to see those teams honored at halftime, and they received a 5-minute standing ovation. Something that happened 30 years ago, a vibe that was felt in my son who wasn't even born at the time. But he, I guarantee you, will never forget what the 90s team accomplished. The next night, we went to Iowa. We have a Hawkeye in the house back here with Dr. Polite. All right. When we got to see Caitlin Clark play on her home court, let me tell you something. Those people, I will never forget as long as I live. They were some of the nicest, most welcoming people at Iowa. The vibe there was absolutely electric, but it was for one reason. They loved that team. Leadership does one thing, and let me get this very clear for you all today. Leadership works really hard to make sure that the experiences that you have aren't just fun and full of passion, but they're felt. Passion is contagious, and it's felt. And I have never been a Hawkeye fan, nor have I ever been a Boilermaker. But in those moments, I was. And I was also a Chicago Bulls fan. A week later, I took him to the Duke University versus UNC game. It was senior night. Who is familiar with the Duke-UNC rivalry? That is real. Those students sit outside for a week and camp out to get into Cameron Indoor Stadium. This stadium holds maybe 6,000 people max, if even that. But these students are so passionate about their school and what they do, they come with an assignment. They rehearse those, literally, those cheers, they rehearse. Those Cameron crazies are crazy. We get into this stadium, and within 5 minutes, we got there early. 20-minute warm-up starts. The clock starts ticking. The song, All I Do Is Win. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. You all know that song? Starts blaring. They turn the lights down, and they turn on stage lights for the players. And it's at minute 19 of warm-ups in the beginning. They get to the part where the hands go up, and they yell, "Go Duke!" And I've got my 10-year-old sitting here. And he's like, "Yeah!" And he's a UNC fan. He's not even a Duke fan. We lived in a moment where profanity didn't matter. And as a mom, what am I going to do? Say, "Stop, son"? No, I'm not. Because I'll guarantee you the next time it played, I was yelling, "Go Duke." We built this arena today for you. We are your biggest fans. We have spent time and effort. And please give Samantha a round of applause for the brick that she brought today. I hope you all get so much out of today because there is something we need from you. We need you to bring a brick. We need you to bring a brick of patience, of resilience, of effort, of presence. We need you to have enthusiasm and passion. We have gifts for you. You can win certificates and Chick-fil-A for lunch. Get ready. Today's going to be a very special day. Are you ready to bring a brick? Say yes. Let's go to work.
Thank you, Chelsea. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so you guys just heard from Chelsea, and so you're going to hear from Chelsea this afternoon, so be ready, because she's your afternoon session, so it's going to be so, so awesome. But I want to take a moment to introduce our speakers to you so we can get you guys moving and flowing. So, Coach Bill Hall. Bill Hall serves as the athletic director and former head football coach, specialized in building process-driven culture that transforms teams. Through servant leadership, which he is, he creates an environment where student athletes and coaches can realize their full potential, rooted in relationship, purpose, and accountability. Give Coach Bill a round of applause. You all just met Miss Chelsea Hester. Chelsea is the founder of Project. You are who you project. So Project MyVibe. And through her role as executive in residence at Shenandoah University School of Business, co-lead the Legacy Mindset business class, which equips students with practical, real-world experiences that directly prepare them for success in their career and beyond. She also collaborates with Shenandoah University athletes, helping student athletes transform their competitive mindset into high-performance career as corporate athletes. And I know some of her athletes, so can we give... And you guys caught the hype with Taylor this morning. Oh my goodness. Oh, we did the thing wrong. So let me start with James. Come back to you, Taylor. James Emu, where's James? James' daughter was also one of the inaugural students that came to Yes, and now she is at UVA. Yes, she went to John Handley, and now she's at UVA. So James, thank you so much for being here. But James is a U.S. Army veteran and West Point graduate, currently serving as a financial advisor at Edward Jones, where he guides individuals and families towards their financial goal. He's deeply committed to the community, serving as the serving as chair of the Shenandoah University Board of Trustees, vice chair of the Winchester EDA, and incoming chair of the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber. Yes, 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 yes. And my dear friend, Raz Patel. Raz is an actress, speaker, model, passionate advocate for mental health and nutrition, a model of resilience and reinvention. She uses her diverse career from entrepreneurship to media to empower individuals to live boldly and care for their minds and bodies. Sorry, guys. Through her platform, including the Raz Patel Show, where some of you had the opportunity to be on this morning, she champions fearless living and mental strength, inspiring others to turn obstacle into opportunities. I said you guys met Taylor as well this morning. Taylor is a third-generation entrepreneur, continuing her family's business legacy at Lefty Spices LLC, a graduate of Old Dominion University with a degree in business marketing. Taylor's dedicated her voice to inspiring and motivating youth, which she sure did this morning. We have some special guests in the audience today. We have Frederick County Sheriff Milholland. Sheriff Milholland, thank you so much for being here this morning. We have Mark Moseley, former Redskins Washington kicker. Mark, thank you so much for being here this morning. And we're going to have Mark speak in a few minutes, but I want to call up a really good friend, Barry Lee. Barry, can you come up with me? You remember Barry from last year? Barry spoke last year. Yes, yes. Yeah, he's checks, chains of checks for sure, which donates funding to nonprofit organizations throughout the community. But last year, and Susie is not here, unfortunately, our director wrote this poem, and again, this has been planning for a full year. And so we met with Barry because we wanted our students to have an opportunity to see not just what we're saying, but see something from our heart, the perspective of what is it we're doing, right? And so we met with Barry. We met, again, we don't do this alone. And what you're about to hear, Barry's voice and Susie's words and production by, again, another Gen Z, Joshua Miller, Josiah Miller. He may be here this afternoon. But we've put together a production for you, and I really want you guys to lean in. So if you can put away your phones, just really lean in and listen to this video and hear the words that Barry is speaking on this video. Anything to add?
The energy in this room is so phenomenal, and when we work together, you give me hope. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Barry.
The change. I walk into a world that asks me why. Why speak? Why care? Why rise? Why even try? The noise is loud, it echoes off the walls, and yet within a whisper says, begin. Be still and listen. Not all strength is loud. A quiet heart can shift the course of the storm. A single hand can lift another up. The smallest act may carry someone far. To call out wrong is not to cast a stone, it is to say, we can be more than this. To help is not surrender, but to trust that being human means we lean and hold. We pause and assess, not to run away, but just to see the path we're standing on. We lead not just by walking in front, we lead by lifting each other as we move. When fear arrives, we do not wait to start. We get up even when the way is steep. And in the dark, we look for hidden doors. We explore not just the world, but ourselves. So let the world keep asking all at once. I found my ground. I know the truth I hold. That the change begins the moment I say, yes, that I am not too young or small or late. To be the change is not a distant dream. It's waking up and choosing who I am.
So you guys are amazing. You're amazing when you make choices to lead as soon as you get up in the morning. And Mark has a quick story that he'd like to share with you all. Mark, can we have you come forward? We're running a little bit behind, but we want to give honor where honor is due.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here too this morning. It's a great honor for me to have an opportunity to meet with the young people. I have 15 grandkids and 2 great-grandkids, and I've got 5 children of my own, and I've raised 4 more. So I know what it is to have young people in the house, and it's great to have young people like yourselves that want to make a difference and see an opportunity that's going to help you to make a difference. How many of you know what you want to be when you grow up? How many times have you been asked that question? Do any of you know? Hold your hands up high. I want to see this. All right, that's just a very small number here in this group of young people who have an idea of what they want to be someday. Tell you a story. My father had his doctorate degree in agriculture in 1954 when I was in the 1st grade. We were asked to go to Ecuador, South America, and try to introduce a crop that the farmers and the people there could raise that would help them to raise their income. My dad, who was very young at the time and had a lot of energy and one of the most brilliant men that I've ever known, said, okay, I'll go do it, but I don't know what we can do. But as soon as we got there, he realized that the soil was just right for bananas. Now, Ecuador at that time really didn't have that as any part of their production of financial wherewithal for their farmers. But he took it on himself at about 20, I think he was 28 years old, that he was going to develop a crop in Ecuador that the farmers could up their incomes from that $200 a year that they were earning. So he went on his way to, as a young man, to figure all the things that needed to be done to make it happen. He first went to Panama, where the Navy had stored all kinds of equipment after the Korean War. He purchased a bunch of equipment, all kinds of equipment, these big D-12 cats, the big levelers, these planes that they used to level ground, because he knew he was going to have to clear a lot of the jungle out. Now, we were in the middle of the Amazon jungle. That's where all this was taking place. And this was a young man who had nothing, grew up on a farm raising watermelons in East Texas, went to school maybe half the time, but ended up graduating valedictorian of his class, going to the war, to World War II, came home, went to college on the GI Bill, began realizing that he had a gift that God had given him, and that was to farm and to teach others how to farm and how to raise crops and how to raise animals and do all the things that it takes to produce and to make something good. Dad knew that. I was very fortunate that I had great parents. Mom and Dad were some of the best Christian parents that a young man could have, especially at my age and what I had in store for my life, which I didn't know at that time was going to be. But to make a long story short, he introduced bananas to Ecuador in 1956. They are now the #1 banana producer in the world. When you find a Chiquita banana, look at that little sticker on it, and it says, manufactured in Ecuador. That was my dad. That's his legacy. What is your legacy going to be? What is your legacy going to be? Do you want to be somebody or make something of yourself to be the best at whatever the gift is that God's given you? Do you want to work hard? Do you want to be disciplined enough? Do you want to be dedicated enough to make it happen? Dreams come alive when you make them come alive. But you have to have that dream of what do I want to be when I grow up. I remember that being asked of myself. I grew up in the Amazon jungles of South America, go on to be the most valuable player in the National Football League in 1982. The only kicker to ever be in the 120-something years of the NFL to be the NFL MVP. Now, quite a change. Huh? From the jungles of Ecuador, I can remember spending the nights, sometimes 2 and 3 weeks at a time, with my dad in the jungle while he was out there working with the people to try to train them on how to clear the land, how to build the ponds for the water that they got 6 months out of the year. I remember laying in the back of the truck on a mattress with the lions and, the tigers and snakes and all those things that most of us have never had an experience to have. But it was a wonderful experience for me because it taught me how to be a man. It taught me to be responsible. Dad always taught me the things that I needed to know to be the best that I could be. I'm proud today to be the father of actually 9 kids and 15 grandkids and 2 great-grandkids for that very reason. I want to be a mentor for them, just as we're here today to be mentors for you. Want to be the best that you can be. Be that person that when the coach says, do I have any volunteers, you're the first one out. Be that person that when the teacher says, does anybody want to take over this project, be the first one to raise your hand. It's up to you. Every one of you in here have been given a gift. God's a great event. He's somebody that has given every one of us something that we are going to be good at. We may not think, we may not know what that is, but we're going to find it. And you can find it in yourselves. Just be willing to be dedicated, to be disciplined enough to make it happen, and don't let anybody tell you that you can't. Don't let anybody ever tell you that you can't, because you can. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Moseley.